Year's Eve edition of the Kombat AllStar Show. Brought to you by Quantum VFX, making the impossible possible. I am Kombat AllStar. Hope you all had a great Christmas. I know I did. Happy New Year to everyone out there. Whether you're watching this in 2014 or 2015, just want to wish everybody a Happy New Year and a Happy Christmas, Happy Holidays. If you don't celebrate Christmas, maybe you celebrate Kwanzaa or Hanukkah. But Happy Holidays to everybody out there. And today we're just going to hang out. It's going to be a short episode. We're going to talk about everything that happened this year, kind of my hopes for next year. So kick back, pop some popcorn. Let's hang out. Let's talk comic books. So comic books this year, been really cool. There's been a lot of really good story arcs going on. I think they've had the best year out of all the categories that I'm talking about this year. I mean, they've been doing some really creative stuff, especially with the characters that are not as known as other characters. I mean, they get some killer freaking work. They did awesome with Aquaman. They did stellar with Wonder Woman, creating new characters for her, really filling in her background because she didn't have a lot of background. They did a really amazing job with Superman. I mean, there was the Injustice series that really took off this year. I mean, Flash has been nothing but amazing. I'm a diehard Flash guy. My opinion is a little biased, but it's been really, really good. I mean, the only thing, even though they don't have Martian Manhunter New 52 out, they still, got those old 1998 Martian Manhunter stories for people like me who really enjoy him to read. They redid Lobo in the New 52. They're actually doing The Rise of Robin, which is bringing Damian Wayne back from the dead. So DC's really killing it this year in the comics. Marvel has stumbled, I feel like. They did have some really cool stuff with Avengers vs. X-Men. They got the Avengers vs. X-Men Axis. But as far as Marvel goes, they're not really doing too much. They did stumble a little bit with changing Thor into a woman and Captain America into a guy. So I kind of feel like, they're running out of ideas, and they don't know what to do with their comic line. I mean, their movies are doing great, but all the movies that they're doing right now, they all took place back in the 90s. So, I mean, they're doing, the old X-Men from back in the 90s, the old, just everything from back in that time, which is a good time. But in their comics, all the heroes have moved on and doing other things. They're a little disgruntled, but, it is what it is. I wish they were doing a better job in their comic books, but I really feel like they've really hit the wall. They've run out of ideas, and I don't know what to fix it. Maybe they could do what DC does and swap their writers around and their artists around and give other people a chance to get a fresh take on it. So hopefully those guys can turn it around. I mean, I love comics. I'm a DC guy. I love comics. I wish them well. I want them to do well and be successful, but they gotta change it up a little bit. They gotta shake it up a little bit, get us something new. Hopefully next year will be a knockout punch for them. They'll come out with some really, really cool stuff, and they'll expand on the universe they started. DC's doing a great job. I mean, I don't know how they're going to, DC is so far ahead of Marvel Comics that it's crazy. They're miles ahead of those guys. And I'm not sure what their sales are looking like. I know Marvel's comics are usually more expensive than DC's comics. So, I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully next year will be better for those guys. But as a DC fan, I'm really enjoying the comics. I'm really enjoying everything that they're putting out. And I know, I can't wait till next year. Let's talk wrestling. So, in wrestling, I was saying at the beginning of the year, not so good. At the end of the year, it got a little better. You had Booker T's promotion that were stepping it up. Ring of Honor acquired some really cool stars, really, really awesome people to wrestle for that organization. I mean, you had NXT, which, they just raised the bar. They took the bar, they ran with it. They raised it so high that I don't think anybody's going to be able to follow that. So, hats off to you guys. Awesome job. You really raised the bar. I even heard that Reddit, they sent Triple H some edible arrangements. Sent him some edible arrangements to thank him for NXT R Evolution. So when the community is sending you gifts because your wrestling product is so good, that's saying something. So aside from that, you had TNA really turned it around. Some may say it's too late. But, better late than never, I say. So I'm really looking forward to what they're going to do on Destination America next year. They really look like they're trying to find their own identity. They're making strides. They're doing a good job over there. So keep up the good work. I know you guys have been getting a lot of crap from a lot of people, especially me, especially from the, Don, Tony, and Kevin Castle show. They rip you guys pretty good. But you guys are getting better. You're doing your best. Next year, hopefully, will be better for you guys. It looks like you're on the right track to get that done. So looking forward to it. Booker T's promotion is always good. So I raved about those guys a few episodes ago. They're still kicking butt and taking names. So if you want something different, go and check out Reality of Wrestling. Really good stuff. Let's talk video games. All right, this year a lot of video games came out. There was Destiny, there was Infamous Second Son, there was Titanfall, there was Root Warriors, Mario Kart 8, Killer Instinct Season 2. So it's been a pretty good year for games. Not as good as past years and not as bad as last year. Last year the new consoles came out and it was literally nothing out. This year, a lot of good stuff came out. It was playable. It made the 8th generation of consoles playable. So it wasn't a bad year. Next year looks like it's going to be a better year. A lot of games that a lot of people were looking forward to got pushed back to this year and then pushed back again this year, like the Order 1886. There was I think Mortal Kombat got pushed back to February of next year. There were a lot of different games. What else? I can't remember all the games that were pushed back, but there were a few games that were pushed back. Kind of sucked, but it is what it is. It still ended up being a pretty decent year in gaming, especially for Xbox. There was a lot of really good exclusives. There was some really cool exclusives for PS4 too early on, like Infamous Second Son. There was a few. There was Guilty Gear also came out this year. So they had a few, but a lot of the really good exclusives were for Xbox, I feel like, and Nintendo. Nintendo had some really good ones. Like I said, I always mentioned Mario Kart 8. I think Smash Brothers came out as well. So it was a pretty good year for everybody. Not as good as us fans would have liked, but I mean, you can't really complain. It wasn't bad at all. Let's talk visual effects. Visual effects they've had their ups and downs, and I mean, the good thing about visual effects this year is it's got a lot of recognition. It's made the papers a lot. There's a lot of awards being handed out. It's on the front of everyone's minds now. And it's because of what's happening with the industry, and it's a lot of negative stuff. I mean, the Sony hack exposed a lot of stuff that I talked about last episode and a few episodes before. There were protests that were going on because companies were being shut down. There's just a lot of eyeballs on visual effects, which is a good thing. Hopefully the protests and everything that's been going on make a difference next year, and we see some really cool stuff happen. Maybe like some more job creations, better pay, maybe visual effects will form a union, not just the Visual Effects Society, but other things in visual effects that'll help out, that'll bring jobs to America, and that'll bring something stable just everywhere, because even though there are more jobs now in other countries than there is the US, and there's that subsidy war going on, there's still no stability no matter where you go. So it would be nice to have some stability. Hopefully they can work that out next year. We can get some really good stuff happening in the industry. Well, that's all, folks. Thanks for hanging out with me at the Kombat AllStar show. I know this year's going to be an epic ending. We're going to party, have some good times. I hope you all do the same thing. Next year, hopefully, it will be a better year. It was a great year for me in the Kombat AllStar show. I really enjoyed putting on this show for you guys, having a little fun, doing things here and there, mixing it up. And I hope that you enjoyed the show. I hope that you subscribe. I hope that you add your friends, tell your friends about the show. Next year, I got some really big things planned. So hit the subscribe button. Like I said, tell your friends. If you have anything that you want to ask me or tell me, you can reach me at QuantumVFX. Use the hashtag AskCast. And I hope to talk to you soon. Next year's going to be awesome. See you then.